Assassin's Creed Rogue. Chills, and not just because of the setting. Assassin's Creed Rogue is a love letter to the fans, just a very rushed love letter. Many point out the blatant copy and paste of Assassin's Creed 4, but there's much more to the game than this. I was reminded of AC3, the Ezio trilogy, and even the original Assassin's Creed just as much, if not more, than AC4. Sure, a ship is how you travel in game materials, but I felt like I was in Assassin's Creed 3 again as I was climbing trees and hunting. I felt like I was in the Ezio trilogy again as I was running around upgrading buildings and capturing territories to build up my income, and I felt like I was in the original Assassin's Creed again with the protagonist's feeling towards the Creed. Where Rogue gets things wrong and causes the game to be less enjoyable is that for the first time in Assassin's Creed history, it didn't feel like the time period was the start of the show. This is a tale for the fans and nothing more. They are filling in story gaps and giving perspective rather than taking you on a trip back in time. The North Atlantic and Americas were lifeless and dull, almost like Port-au-Prince and Freedom Cry, which ultimately made this game feel like a massive DLC rather than a worthy standalone. The world in Rogue makes the frontier in New York and AC3 look like Constantinople in Revelations. It's dead, like being in a playground with no one to play with. Assassin's Creed Rogue tells the story of Shay Cormac, an assassin turned Templar. As a massive Assassin's Creed fan, this concept alone had me massively excited for this game. Without spoiling anything, I'll just say that the delivery for the reasoning behind this flip was poorly executed. The entire setup for this story is a fail. The game begins with you as an assassin in training, which to me makes absolutely no sense. By starting out as a rookie, it lessens the blow of turning away from the Creed. It just feels like no big deal. The Creed lost to nobody because you feel like a nobody and your Creed mates make you feel like a nobody. We should have started out as an established and respected member of the Creed, somebody that the Creed would dread if you were to ever turn on them. The character development is not personal enough for the switch to feel justified. You're never given a sense of Shay's moral standings for you to feel in your gut what's going to happen. Instead, you're smacked with a childish, "Hey, I didn't like that, I'm leaving," making Shay seem more closed-minded than heroic. The story mode also feels massively short. I'd honestly estimate no longer than 6 hours if you don't count the travel time. And I say story instead of the game because the emphasis on collecting and upgrading that AC4 introduced has really started to separate the story from the world, which is a shame. They no longer blend like the original Assassin's Creed through Assassin's Creed 3 did. Chest and looting no longer feel like a way to get money when in need of an upgrade, but rather just map cleaning. They are filler. They give you the hours to justify money spent when the story and gameplay should be doing this job. Gameplay is what you would expect from an Assassin's Creed game. Surprisingly enough, Rogue has its own feel to it. You can stalk targets, but now you have a grenade launcher to do a bit more damage and affect a larger range of enemies at once. And you'll need it as enemy detection seems to be much more strict in Rogue, leaving no room for error. If you step out of hiding for more than a split second, you'll be spotted. I'm not sure if this was on purpose to make the game feel harder or if detection is just broken. Combat is the same as AC4's with the basic wait for an attack to counter and break defense. You're given one sword type, so don't expect the customization and loadout that AC3 had. Pistols are back, as well as an air rifle that acts like a blowpipe. But while you're hunting enemies are hunting you too. You have stalkers around all corners, hiding in bushes and rooftops waiting for their opportunity to strike. When one is near you, you'll hear the multiplayer whispers, which then allows you to go into eagle vision and sniff them out before they sniff you out. If they find you first though, it's no big deal. You have plenty of time to react, especially since they mock you as they attempt to kill you. Collectibles are back in abundance and will take most of your time if you are a completionist. It personally took me about 42 hours to see and do everything the game had to offer. There aren't any side missions, but there are side activities like hunting challenges and assassination interceptions. The interceptions were kind of lame though and felt like a waste of time. You basically find the target and then find the assassins in the bushes just sitting there waiting to be killed before time is up. This would have been a great idea for a city-based game, but it just feels like hide and seek here. There's some great mysteries to uncover though. There are cave paintings to find, keys to unlock armors, and my favorite thing about AC4, treasure maps. You can also usefully hunt animals to craft items for upgrades again. Sadly, the hunting like an AC4 feels spawned rather than living like an AC3. Ship battles are here, but feel a bit clunky and awkward compared to those in Assassin's Creed 4. And you can of course pillage them along with outposts and camps for materials to upgrade your ship and buildings around the map. Missions are finally back to the way they used to be, fun and varied. No more constant tailing and eavesdropping. Instead, you'll be infiltrating parties, sabotaging and hunting down your targets. There's no repetitiveness inside of the story at all. In fact, no two missions felt the same in the entirety of my time through the campaign. I would also like to note that I ran into multiple glitches such as getting stuck in buildings, my targets getting stuck in buildings, audio dropping out, and going through the map and seeing neon pink walls, all which will hopefully be patched out quickly. If you're a fan of the series, Assassin's Creed Rogue is well worth your time, and the story, especially its closing, is in my opinion a perfect ending of the past gen Assassin's Creed chapter and an introduction into the current gen Assassin's Creed. But if you play the series only for the historical tour, then this game offers very little and is massively skippable. But either way, I would recommend holding out for future patches, as this game does have quite a few annoying bugs. For what it is, an action-adventure game, 7.5 out of 10, and as an overall game, 8 out of 10. If you played Assassin's Creed Rogue, tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. If you haven't played it, tell me if you plan on picking it up. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and tune in 2 weeks from now, Monday, for First Impressions, where you find out what game we're playing next in the Season 4 premiere of the Backlog. Thanks for watching.